Welcome back to the deep dive. So you're looking for a quick, but really solid handle on some core English grammar. Well, today, our mission zeroes in on two tiny words that pack a huge punch: do and does.
Yeah, they seem small, but honestly, they're like the engine for questions and quick answers in the simple present.
Exactly. These aren't just, random words. They're the gears for talking about habits, facts, schedules, all that everyday stuff. And getting this right, it's maybe the fastest way to sound, well, more natural and confident when you speak English. It really is a shortcut.
It absolutely is. People get hung up on vocab sometimes, but fluency, a lot of it is baked into getting the structure right. And when someone misuses do or does or messes up the verb after it, well, your ear catches it immediately, right? It creates a little friction. Nail these two and you just smooth everything out. It makes a big difference in how your English flows.
Okay, let's jump right in then. We're talking auxiliary verbs here, helping verbs, basically. They come in when the main verb can't quite handle making a question or a negative on its own, particularly in this simple present tense. Think of them as the essential construction crew for this tense.
Right. And the very first thing, the absolute foundation you need to lock down is who they work with, the subject rule. It's actually kind of fascinating how strict they are about it. This is rule number one. Get this, and you're halfway home.
Okay, let's lay it out clearly. Do. That's your workhorse. It covers most situations. It works with I, you, we, they, and any plural subject.
Plural subjects meaning more than one person or thing?
Yeah, like the students, my parents, those dogs, Sarah and Tom. If it's plural, it's do.
So you'd say, do the students understand? Or do your friends live nearby?
Exactly. Always do for plurals.
Which leaves does with a very specific but super common job. Does is for the third person singular subjects. That means he, she, it, and any singular noun that isn't I or you.
Right. So, John, the cat, this company, our car. If the subject is just one thing or person and not I, you, it has to be does.
We should probably pause on that for a sec because singular subjects are often the tricky spot in English, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you're asking about one specific colleague, does the new manager start today? The manager, that's singular, so does.
Good example. And I think sometimes learners get tripped up by longer subject phrases,
Right.
They see something like the results of the survey and maybe panic a bit. But you just look at the core noun, results plural.
So it's do.
Exactly. Do the results show anything interesting? Focus on results.
That's a really key point. Find the simple subject, plural. Use do. He, she, it, or a singular noun. Switch over to do's. Simple as that, really.
Okay, so subject rule foundation. Now, let's talk about actually building the question, the structure. It seems pretty straightforward, but you mentioned there's a crucial detail, something that separates like textbook English from real flowing conversation.
Yes, exactly. If we look at the bigger picture, the basic pattern is auxiliary, then subject, then the main verb. So auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. But it's what happens, or rather what doesn't happen, to that main verb that's the secret sauce.
Okay, let's clarify main verb and base form. Base form just means the dictionary version, right? No ending.
Precisely. The plain, simple form. No ing, no and crucially, no s. Just the verb itself, like speak, work, like start.
Right. And here's the bit that needs focus, yeah. The main verb never changes when you use do or does to ask a question.
Hold on, because someone listening might think, wait a minute. I say, he works downtown. That has an S. Why does the S vanish when I ask, does he?
That seems inconsistent.
Ah, yes. That's the exact point we need to clear up. It feels inconsistent, but there's a logic. In English simple present, only one part of that verb phrase gets to show its third-person singular. In a statement like, he works downtown, the main verb works carries that S marker.
Okay.
But when we bring in do to help make it a question, do basically says, I'll take that job.
Exactly. Do takes on the third-person singular duty and transforms into do's. It absorbs that S information.
Ah, I see. So the S responsibility shifts. It moves from the main verb over to the auxiliary, which means the main verb doesn't need it anymore. It goes back to its simple base form. You can't have S in two places.
You got it. That's the critical mechanism. The S is already in do's. So the main verb must be the base form. You absolutely have to say, does he speak Spanish? Never, ever does he speak.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It avoids being redundant.
Yeah.
The do signals the Hessiide part, so the main verb doesn't have to.
And honestly, mastering that single shift instantly makes your spoken English sound much more advanced. Let's contrast it again just to be crystal clear. Statement. The meeting starts at 9. The verb starts has the S.
Right.
Question. Does the meeting start at 9? Now, does it has the ziz vibe, so start is plain.
Okay, another one. Statement. She likes coffee.
Question.
Does she like coffee? Like goes back to base form because do's is doing the heavy lifting.
Perfect. Let's just run through a couple more quick examples showing how the main verb stays plain no matter what. Using do. Do you understand this? Needs do. Understand is base.
Or plural. Do the kids want ice cream? Kids is plural. Needs do. Want is base.
Now with does, remembering that base form rule, does he know the answer? He needs do. No is base.
Or a thing. Does the computer work?
Okay.
Computer singular. It needs does. Work is base. Never works.
Right. Once does is there, the main verb is always the simple base form. Okay, so we've built the question. Now, how about answering? Let's talk quick replies, short answers. Because repeating the whole question back feels clunky, right? In real conversation, we use short answers constantly. They're quick, polite, essential.
Totally essential.
Yeah.
They keep the conversation moving. And the structure is really simple again. It mirrors the question start. It's just yes, no, plus subject, plus the same auxiliary verb, does or don't doesn't.
Ah, okay. So you use the same helper verb you heard in the question.
Exactly. And one small but important detail. If the question used a noun for the subject, like your brother or the results, you swap in the pronoun he, she, it, they in the short answer.
Good point. So if I asked, does Sarah like pizza? You wouldn't say, yes, Sarah does.
No, you say yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. You use the pronoun.
Okay, got it. And let's focus on those negative answers for a second. You mentioned contractions.
Yes, this is really key for sounding natural in spoken English. We almost always use contractions in negative short answers.
So don't instead of do not, and doesn't instead of does not.
Right, saying the full no, I do not, or no, he does not can sound a bit stiff, sometimes even a little, I don't know, overly formal or emphatic in just regular chat.
Yeah, no, I don't, or no, he doesn't, just flows better, it's expected.
Definitely. Comfort with those contractions is part of fluency. Let's cycle through some full examples, question and both answers.
Okay, question. Do you work downtown?
Affirmative answer.
Yes, I do.
Negative contracted answer.
No, I don't.
Perfect. Now, plural subject. Question. Do your parents travel often?
Affirmative. Yes, they do, using they for parents.
Negative. No, they don't.
Right. Okay, now the crucial does examples. Question. Does Maria speak French?
Affirmative. Yes, she does. Using
Okay.
she for Maria.
Negative. No, she doesn't.
Excellent. One more. With it. Question. Does this phone have GPS?
Affirmative. Yes, it does.
Negative. No, it doesn't.
You see? The pattern is really consistent once you have the subject rule and that auxiliary verb locked down.
Absolutely. It's quite elegant, really.
So let's recap. What's the big takeaway here? We've kind of disassembled and reassembled the do and does construction crew for the simple present. We've got the golden rule for subjects who gets do, who gets does. And critically, we've uncovered that mechanism of the cheat shifting, how does takes the marker, freeing the main verb to be in its base form. That's huge for sounding fluent.
It really is. Knowing the rule is step one, but making it automatic, making it an instinct when you speak, that takes practice.
Right. It's not enough to just understand it intellectually. You've got to produce it easily and quickly.
That transition from knowing to doing, automatically, that's where the real progress happens. It requires actually speaking.
Which leads perfectly into our final thought, your challenge for the week. This builds directly on everything we've just unpacked. Your action item. Put this into practice immediately. We want you to think about your own life, people you know, routines.
And create 10 questions. 5 using do, 5 using do's. Make them relevant to you.
But here's the important part, the part that really cements it.
The kicker. For every single one of those 10 questions.
Practice saying both the yes, short answer, and D, the no, short answer out loud.
Yes, out loud. And use the contractions don't and doesn't for the negative ones.
Hearing yourself say it correctly makes a massive difference. It builds muscle memory for your mouth and your brain. It bridges that gap from just knowing to actually using it confidently.
It really does build that fluency and confidence.
Yeah.
That auditory feedback is powerful.
So that's your assignment. Create those questions, practice those answers out loud. Nail that sis shift, master those contractions. Go build some perfect questions.
You've got this.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.